Norton Board of Selectmen. Today is Thursday, November 30th, 2017. Let the records show that all members are present, along with Town Manager Michael Units. Pledge of allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We have a hearing at 7:05 and 7:15. This isn't a hearing, right, the Chateau? It's just an application for...
Right.
Someone from the Chateau here? No? Are you? Okay, good. We have an application of the Chateau Restaurant of Norton Incorporated, 48 Bay Road, Norton, Mass. 02766. The change of manager from Stephanie Cudmore to Roberta A. Sanfey. We don't have a legal notice in there, right? Just a letter?
Yeah.
Mr. Belleville, you want to read the letter?
Yes.
You have it?
Yes. This part of it, right there?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Here's a letter sent to the town of Norton regarding Chateau of Norton Incorporated. To whom this may concern, enclosed, please find the minutes of the special meeting, Board of Directors and stockholders of Chateau of Norton dated October 31st. Board voted to appoint Roberta Sanfony to its manager on liquor license.
Okay. Roberta, you want to come up? How are you?
How are you?
Good, thanks. Getting a promotion here, are you, or?
I've been the general manager for almost 4 years.
Oh, okay. Now you're going to be in charge of liquor license on top of it all?
Yes.
Good for you. Okay. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. Anyone have any questions on it? Pretty much boilerplate. You are aware of our policy on
Yes.
serving the minors and
Yes.
all that, so make sure you become very aware of that. Make sure your people you're working for you know it too. We don't like to have to deal with local businesses on that, that level. We prefer to
Absolutely.
be pro-business than trying to do something other than that. Reason I'm bringing it up, we have 3 businesses coming in a couple of weeks, and I don't think any of us are looking forward to dealing with it. but-
No, not at all.
We have
We
to
have
do
a
it.
very strict policy in
Okay,
place.
perfect. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, seeing none, the chair would entertain a motion to approve the application of Chateau Restaurant of Norton, Mass. Incorporated, 48 Bay Road, Norton, Mass. 02766, from change of manager from Stephanie Cudmore to Roberta A. Sanfey.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, now I'll say for the roll call. Mr. Flaherty?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Salvo?
Yes.
Mr. Bramwell?
Yes.
And I do vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Take care. Okay, get out of the way. Next, we have an application of Ma Pizza, I guess, Incorporated, DBA Roma Italian Pizza for a transfer of the common vicular license issued to the Sowett Family LLC, DBA Village Pizza, 360 Old Colony Road, Norton, Mass. It's just a transfer. There's someone here for that. Want to come up, please? Yeah, just behind him. Could you identify yourself for the record, please?
Yeah.
Your name, please?
Ayad Habib. My name is Ayad Habib.
Can you spell it for us?
Ayad.
Okay,
And the last name Habib.
thank you. Okay. Well, our recording secretary is here, so she's going to try to catch up later.
Okay.
So we just want to make sure we have the right name. So you're taking over the Roma?
Yes.
you're gonna be
Village
the-
Pizza. It's gonna be Aroma Pizza. Aroma Pizza.
And it's located at 360 Old Corner. Oh, yeah, it's right across. Oh, okay, yeah, I know where it is. Any, this your first experience with this, or?
I used to have a business before, like 3 years ago.
Okay, all right, very good. What are you going to be serving over there?
I'm gonna make Italian pizza and I'm gonna make the best stuff. I'm trying to help the town how I make good food.
Yeah. Good. We can always use a good pizza shop.
Oh, thank you.
There's no doubt about it. Okay. Anyone have any questions? Well, we wish you well.
Oh,
Good
thank
luck
you.
over there.
Thanks.
Let us know how soon you're going to be in there yourself, when you're taking over,
Trying to take in this month.
this month?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have to let us know when you're in there so we can let people know to go check it out.
Okay, I hope.
Been signed off by the building inspector, the fire inspector's all set. Do they need a business certificate? Mike, you know?
He should have a business certificate, yes.
Okay.
You can get that at the town clerk's office.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a formality, when you go down, go all the way to the end, the door at the very end, and she can take care of it. That's
Okay, business
It's still
activity.
open, right?
Yeah, they're still open,
Yeah.
they're open now, so
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go.
good chance to take care of it. Okay. No other questions?
No?
Okay. Chair entertain a motion to approve the application of our Pizza Incorporated DBA Roma Italian Pizza for transfer of common vicular license issued to the Salat Family LLC DBA Village Pizza, 360 Old Colony Road, Norton, Massachusetts.
So moved.
Motion. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just take that down there, she'd be able to go over that with you.
All right, thank you.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, good luck to you.
Okay, we're over to 7:15.
No, I'm trying to sort off all my papers.
Under announcements, Mr. Selvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I'd like to announce that Sturdy Memorial Hospital is having a blood drive on Thursday, December 7th, at 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the auditorium at 211 Park Street in Attleboro, Mass. Don't forget to bring your driver's license and another form of identification when you donate. You can visit www.ribc.org to make an appointment, sponsor code 3046, or call Sturdy at 508-236-8555. Questions about eligibility, you can call the RIBC donor eligibility hotline at 401-453-8307. And that's on Thursday, December 7th at Sturdy Memorial Hospital Auditorium, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., 211 Park Street, Attleboro. We have Christmases for kids, fill a truck. Please bring a new unwrapped gift to the Christmas lighting event for local children in need. Christmas bows, wrapping paper, and any other blanket it can be donated. Any new blankets can be donated. Please help us fill the truck and bring the magic of Christmas to the local families. Sponsored by a Norton Fire Department, and that'll be on 12/3/17 at 5 p.m. at the Town Common, and that should be this Sunday.
That's something new this year. We've never done that before. Great opportunity to collect for the very worthy cause, so anyone's coming out to the Common, it'd be a great time to do it. We're kind of concerned about being ready this year at the Common because of all the construction that's going on, but the highway guys did a great job of doing some patchwork down there to put that place back together, so we're able to go out there, so. And hopefully everyone will have a chance to come out on Sunday night at 5 o'clock. Santa will be there, will be arriving by truck. So get a chance to come out, please. Come on up to the Common. And we have, 26 new parking spaces or something like that? Most of them should be empty,
Well, it all
right?
depends. How long is the event? Is it less
It
than 2 hours?
doesn't last more than 2 hours, so we're okay. Okay, anything else?
I don't have anything else, thank you.
Mr. Bramwell?
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Steele?
Nothing, Mr. Chairman.
Flaherty?
Nothing, Mr. Chairman.
We do have one other. Serpent is holding a public meeting to represent the Norton portion of Route 140 study. It's going to be at the Norton Public Library, 68 East Main Street, Norton, Mass. On Tuesday, December 5th. That's next week, next Tuesday, from 6 to 7 p.m. So if you're interested in they've been meeting with all the different communities right on 140. So just an extension of the what they've already had, these hearings they've already had in other towns. Okay. I think that's all I have. Okay, where are we? We can get through this one. Mr. Selva.
Yes.
Actually, the 7:15 hearing is for the application of Mary E. Manchester, DBA Sportsman Cafe Manager, Mary E. Manchester, for a common vicular license to expose, keep for sale, and sell all kinds of alcoholic beverages to be drunk on the premises at 13 South Worcester Street in Norton, Massachusetts. Mr. Salvo, could you read the legal, please? on that?
Yes. This was dated November 14th to the Attleboro Sun Chronicle, to the legal section. Notice of a public hearing. The Board of Selectmen of Town of Norton will conduct a public hearing on an application of Mary E. Manchester, DBA Sportsman's Cafe Manager, Mary E. Manchester, for a common vicular license to expose, keep for sale, and sell all kinds of alcohol beverages to be drunk on the premises at 13 South Worcester Street, Norton, Mass. Said hearing will be held Thursday, November 30th, 2017, at 7:15 PM in the Selectmen's Meeting Room, Norton Municipal Center, 70 East Main Street in Norton, in accordance with Chapter 138 in Massachusetts General Laws.
Attorney Rich? Good evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again. My name is Daniel Rich. I represent Mary Manchester. Mary is here today. I'm going to pass over the notifications. This is an application for a liquor license at the Sportsman's Cafe. As you remember, we were here last year, and the chairman wanted to know why we were giving a license to a dead person. And it really wasn't
Can I
to
put it that way?
issue. That's exactly how you worded it. It was actually, we were giving the personal representative because of the problems we had. We're probably going to face the same problems, but this is going to, what we're asking the board to do is grant a license to Ms. Manchester in her name. Last year it was to the personal representative who represented his father's estate. However, I did talk with the ABCC today. If you approve this, there obviously can't be two licenses at one spot. So this license would not be actually approved probably or sent to the ABCC till after January 1st, till that other license is returned. So, but besides that, we have, if in fact it's granted now, we still have a myriad of problems we're going to have to deal with the ABCC. Gentleman was very nice today. One of the problems why it's taken so long is because the previous owner, Mr. Ferrara, was not a very good bookkeeper. And unfortunately, his records were non-existent. So we have to make peace with the DOR and the DUA. Okay. And so the gentleman I spoke with today, he's got a big, long Italian name, I can't remember it, but he was very nice, and he said what'll have to happen is that because we didn't apply for reapplication of that license, that one expires December 31st and is no longer valid. This one wouldn't even begin to be considered until January 1st, so there will be actually no liquor license at that premises until we resolve this problem, which could be not well into 2018, but could be a couple months into 2018. But that's the only thing we can do. We have to deal with it. We have to play the cards we're dealt. So we're asking, what I'm asking the board is if to ask any questions, to approve it, but nothing can happen until January 1st, and that license will obviously come back to the town on January 1st.
Okay.
It was held by the Sportsman's.
Yeah, it pretty much expires, I think, on the 1st anyways.
It does. He told me that license, there'll be, and she'll have to remove the license and not sell alcohol. She'll have to make the provisions for the vendors to terminate on January 1st, or December 31st, actually.
Yeah.
And then this application, if it's approved, will go up to the ABCC, and then we'll have to run the gamut through the ABCC and all the other divisions of the Commonwealth that are interested. I don't know how it's going to play out. It could be that it would be approved here, but never gets approved up there.
Yeah, and that's probably, I mean, as far as the licensing authority here in Norton, we can obviously approve it, but the ABC is going to be the final
Absolutely.
judge on the whole process, so.
Yeah, and they have input from the DOR, from the DUA, and we'll just have to deal with it if we can, but.
Okay. So just to be clear, though, you're going to try to clean up all this stuff with all these agencies prior to Tuesday, the 2nd of January, which will be the first.
It will not, right, that's what we'll be
First
doing
one.
behind the scenes, but the license will not be effective until we do that. We're going to start now to see
Okay.
just how deep it is. We tried before, it was very tough, but if there's a license that's going to be there, it's going to have to go through this process.
Any other questions?
Just the fact that it's something that we have to start,
Yeah.
just to get the ball rolling, just to clean up this mess.
That's it. If there's going to be a liquor license there. If we can't do it, and that's not going to happen, then it may end up as condominium, I don't know. We're hoping not, because Sportsman's has been in town for 50 years, maybe?
I was gonna say, it's been there a long time.
Yeah, it was there for a long time. Unfortunately, the bookkeeping was not adequate enough for the Commonwealth of Mass, and that's what you get. And if Mary takes over, obviously it'll be changed. But again, we got to clear up that first. So that's what we're asking the board to do.
I mean, even under today's building regulations, zoning, nothing would ever be, I mean, that wouldn't be allowed there today, but it is there, and it is allowed. So.
We have to
and it
do what we have to do, and sometimes you can't do it, but sometimes you can, so.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. No other questions. Chair, entertain a motion to approve. Mary E. Manchester, DBA Sportsman's Cafe Manager. Mary E. Manchester for a common victual license to expose, keep for sale, and sell all kinds of alcoholic beverages to be drunk on the premises at 13 South Worcester Street, North Massachusetts, 02766.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. You can still sell food there, even if you don't have a license? No, okay. I think you still have to call
She's in the
common
conviction.
vic,
Yeah. to
and
get
then
that.
you'd have to come back.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, if you're gonna do that, that's fine, just let us know so we can do the common vic for the premises. Have we have a motion and a second? No further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Flaherty?
Yes.
Mr. Steele? Mr. Salvo?
Yes.
Mr. Bramwell?
Yes.
And I too vote yes, thank you.
Okay, and I'll be in touch with Mr.
Good luck.
Yunus, yeah. I'll be
Luck.
here in 2 weeks, so my Christmas gift will be here then.
Yeah.
14th,
We'll
right?
We'll make sure it's there. Did you say it was a long Italian name that you couldn't say?
Well, he was a little longer than I thought. I've written it down. I'll practice it. Especially for him.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
No, I lost it already. Okay, we already did announcements. Under new business, we don't have anything listed. Under old business, nothing, town manager's report.
Let's see. I don't know if you have it in front of you tonight, but I got an email from a veteran who was thanking Estelle for the service that she did. And you can,
Yeah, I'll read it.
want to read it?
It's addressed to Michael. Hi, Michael. I'm a 68-year-old Vietnam vet, and I've dealt with a lot of VA reps, but it wasn't until I met Estelle, until I met a rep that went way beyond being just a rep. Estelle pushed me to do things that friends and family have bugged me for years. Because if Estelle, my quality of life has improved, and she's trying to me even more. It doesn't matter what happens next. She went out of her way to help me, and the VA and other vets would like me, should be grateful that she is here. And thank you for your time. Very nice.
Yeah, we are fortunate. She does go out of her way. I mean, there's days that I'll see her in jeans because she is heading over to help someone clean out stuff at their home, and she really does do a great job. And want to thank her for that. I did meet today with the building committee from the Council on Aging, just to review where we're at with that. And I told them that the building committee will meet after our December 11th meeting with the school committee once they have a full board. And we have a couple lots that we're looking at, and we'll be preparing an RFP for a feasibility study, one for the COA and one for a town hall to bring back to a future town meeting, whether we have a special or annual. We do have two sites, probably more than that now, 3 or 4 sites that we're looking at, and hopefully with some information we're getting from other towns on the size of a building, we'll know what will be preferable. And Jennifer's been going out looking at the sites for us for the wetlands issues.
Anything else? You want to talk about that?
Right?
No, you can do it.
Okay. We met today, Bob and I, with Jeff Mann from Xfinity Center, and they're looking to have a new exit out of the Xfinity Center. So as you come in the driveway into the Xfinity Center, the parking lot that's over to the left, they're gonna put a connection from that parking lot to the electric company, what's the,
Richard Brothers?
Richard Brothers, and they're gonna come behind those buildings and then back out onto 140, and those vehicles will have to turn right. And they're gonna put cones down the road to make sure people don't take a right and then try and take a left and go back to the highway that way. So it'll split the traffic coming out of there. The main entrance will go left, and this traffic will go right and head south on 140.
He's telling us that back in the corner, that back corner, the pay lot, that the people can wait up to 40 minutes to get out of there. So the plan is to divert that group out first, can only go right. And then the main entrance that they've had for forever. When they go out that way, they can only go left. We did ask questions about what happens when they hit the center of town, famous traffic lights. And he suggested they may set it up with the Mass Highway and Chief Clark to have a police officer there, if necessary, to move people out and get them out of there. So it's just another solution to some of the problem. I know he's looking also at a drop-off and pickup area, trying to figure out a better way to do that. Reservoir Street will be closed, like it has been after 9:30. The School Street coming from the other direction, Mansfield, they will divert all the cars to the right. Was it Wave? What's the name of that? It's Wave.
Wave.
They figured out a way where they think they can, it'll detect an accident, but they've figured out a way they think that they can actually put a block on it for like a couple of hours to divert people to a different direction, so people know they can't go that way. Because that was some of the problems we were having on Cobb Street and some of the secondary streets. You know, they were coming cross street, they were coming in from all different directions. So they're addressing that. We talked about signage, proper signage, letting people, reminding people when the concerts are going to be. I did ask today why they don't have some kind of a sign board out front, themselves, permanent billboard type of thing. And he said he's looking into that. You know, it would say, you know, coming Saturday, Jimmy Buffett or whatever. You know, it wish to be something to let people know that there's something coming up.
And Jeff mentioned, you know, he's very responsive, I will say that. Obviously, there's issues with the traffic, but he's very responsive. He has an email chain that anyone, he'll respond to anyone right away, he does. And so hopefully, he is also working with the state, trying to get them to put the message boards on 495, which they did not do last year, so he's going to be talking to them. And also talking with the state about when the traffic is clearing out of the concert, maybe doing something with the traffic lights at the intersection of 140 and 123, whether it's blinking yellow and they just keep directing all the traffic right out to move it out of here. But he's being proactive.
Chairman, I think one of the biggest things that they have issues with congested traffic is pickup and drop-offs.
Right.
With families,
Yeah.
huge, especially in that area. I know he did say he had a section, but how you gonna address it to the public, to get it to them where they need to go is gonna be difficult. Hopefully down the road, eventually everybody will know where it is, but.
Last year, they had right after Clemens property, there was an entrance there, and I know they had a big sign out there that said drop off with an arrow. People were able to drive in, drop them off, and come back out around. Not sure how that works as far as people going in, but they must have someone there directing them off. But they are trying to figure out a way to take care of that problem. It used to come up on Reservoir Street. A lot of people would drop kids off there and then come back after the concert and pick them up there, but that's a problem.
It almost, when you're just talking about that drop-off through Lemney's, it'd be almost interesting to see if they could put the road or a roadway around the back of the Comcast Center and exit through the electric place.
Yeah.
Because that way they wouldn't interfere with all the traffic coming off of the highway trying to get in, because I assume if they have to take a left, they're gonna get stuck in that traffic that's trying to get into the center.
Yeah.
So this way here, it would get them around that. It
Might be something to
would-
look at.
It would avoid their main entrance.
Yeah. You know, years ago, if you look at the new 140, and you know this too, and when you look at the way the new 140 is built, and you suddenly hit the sharp curve, that's not the way it was originally designed. It was designed to go straight to the woods, come out behind the Comcast Center, and then exit down near, I think it went back onto Main Street, went on to 140, but near Roach Brothers in that area, by the old flea market. It's supposed to come into that area. And the Land Preservation Society of Mansfield got in there and they blocked it by buying, or getting a piece of land donated, and they had no more access to it, so the highway they kind of gave up on that whole concept. But to your point, even if they could, coming down 495, if they could have just an entrance for drop-offs only, even there, that they could go around and come back out again somehow, it would be beneficial, but I don't think they can do it. It would have to be where you're talking about. They have to come out onto it and then deal with it from there, so.
I just thought that would get it beyond the entrance where everybody else is trying to get in.
Right.
The best place would be drop-off, would be the old shoe place. It's like you pull in and they can pull right back out, It's right there with a crosswalk at the main entranceway. That'd be the best place, but they own it, people own it, so I'm sure they wouldn't allow it. They pay for parking there and stuff,
Yeah.
you know?
In that new building they're putting up for the electric unit. What is it?
building.
Thank you. But I think it's, maybe something can work out there, so. It's funny how they did that, though. They built that facility in Mansfield, and right along the line, they stopped. And they're parking their vehicles Norton. That's what happened. It's right on the line. So Mansfield's under heavy construction, and Norton has a house sitting there, which I think they're probably using for office space or whatever. Just be curious to see what they do after. Have they applied for anything? No? Maybe they'll sell it. But we'll have to wait and see what happens.
And just an update on the water situation and things that the Water and Sewer Department is doing. I did speak with Mayor Dumas, and he sent an email that Attleboro, only in an emergency situation, would have the ability to provide water to the town, not on an ongoing basis. And we do have a couple connections from Norton to the Attleboro system. And I believe Mansfield is more or less the same, so we're waiting for a letter from them. And Bernie is working on putting a dispensing machine in the town hall, up where the vending machine is, in that hallway up in there, the area there, where people will be able to come in and fill up gallon jugs during, when they're having issues with water in their neighborhoods.
Wouldn't that be kind of an odd place? I mean, it'd be difficult, first of all, if there's spilling water, it's gonna get all over the floor. Second, if it's near the back door, they gotta carry a 5-gallon or a jug up the stairs.
Well, I think the issue became that they told us that the ramp out here is not handicap accessible. It's not the right pitch, so they wouldn't consider that handicap accessible. And here, someone could park out front and come in. So,
Well, I don't know how big it's gonna be, but.
yeah, I haven't
wouldn't
seen it
almost
yet.
Make more sense to.
I didn't think it was gonna work there either.
Yeah.
I looked at it the other
Wouldn't it
day.
make more sense to put a tap on the landing
That's
downstairs
what I
at the
thought we were
door?
doing. I thought,
Yeah.
for some reason, in my mind, I kind of get the visual that some kind of filtration system with a spigot going outside,
I thought it was
where you
gonna
can
be
walk up
outside.
to it and turn the water on for it in your car and go.
I thought it was gonna be outside, but if it's gonna be inside, why couldn't it be down on the landing, just inside the door?
So he's still gonna have to look at different, I'll talk to him, and I know he was meeting with the Board of Health today on it, so I'll check with him.
So I would think behind the wall, they could put the filtration system, and then just have a tap come out, so it really wouldn't take up space.
I just don't understand. I mean, to me, if you're trying to create a convenience for the customer, or for the residents, make it convenient. Oh, it's 4:30 in the afternoon, now I can't get any water.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not making it convenient at all. I guess my visual, again, was different, that I pictured there's some kind of filtration system in the basement of the building, with a couple of pipes going outside, you go walk up to it and get some water. I mean, that was a simplified way I pictured it, but I guess
I didn't picture a filtration system at all. I just pictured a spigot, and if someone's water's rusty on the west side of town, it's fine here, they could come and get some, but it's this whole filtration
But
system.
like he was talking yesterday with us, that it has a drain, we're gonna take the bubble out of the way, use the drain, but you still need room to pipe it behind it, so I don't see where the distance would be close enough to the wall, where you're not gonna impede that other vending machine.
Well, first of all, you got stairs. So right away, it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Put it in the front of the building where the bathrooms are, where you've got drains and all that kind of stuff already up in that area. It almost makes sense because you walk in the front door, you can fill it, you can go, you know.
And if we looked at that, the tap is out front, so it would be easier to go up right there than to come all the way back
Do
in.
you think it's gonna be used a lot?
You
I
never know.
mean, people are gonna know it's free water, so,
Well, I know people that buy water
Probably
every
will.
week, so they don't have to buy the water anymore.
and he says it was gonna be cold, how does he know it's gonna be cold? I didn't understand that part, but,
I think because it's a machine, it's
Oh.
not just a tap, it's like over at Wheaton's, those bubblers they have, it's all filtered and,
And I seen those at the Hasselflag Center, these water filtration stations which you can fill up all, and it's filtered.
We're gonna have to figure out an easy way,
yeah.
no matter what to do. I mean, having the water here is important,
Yeah.
you know. And again, if people are spending a lot of money every week buying water, at least they'll give them some kind of a break on how that's working. While we're talking about that, how are we making, I think on the agenda every week, Mike, could we get an update on the new treatment plant, the water treatment plant every week? And also, you know, what kind of discussion they're having about, we tried to get the Water Sewer Commission to come in a few times, it's not working, so, you know, maybe the best solution would be for them to give you a weekly update on capital improvements, what they're gonna do for pipes, you know, they need to start getting serious about changing out some of these pipes, and, I don't know, that's their job, so they'll have to figure it out. But more importantly, just letting us know what this water treatment plant, the progress that's being made on it, we need to know what's going on with it.
Well, and something else I was thinking of today, and it was dark when I was driving there, but I think they're putting that new water main down Reservoir. There's no sewer down there, right?
No.
Well, they ought to think about at the same time,
How would we do that?
because that road, once that water pipe goes in, Keith is paving it side to side. So we do have surge on Reservoir down further, and they're gonna have it in the town center, so it would be a way to
Move it all
eventually
around.
come down 123.
Yeah.
I mean, 120, I'm
sense.
sorry, and then down Reservoir and connect everything, so
Yeah.
I'll ask them about that.
It makes sense to try to do it all at once, so. We, you know, anyone else on the water, I mean, any other updates you're looking for? I think it's important we keep an eye on what's happening, and so people are asking us questions all the time, and as we stated before, there's really nothing we can say or do about it, but we should be try to stay in the best form we can. What you got? Lost my agenda again.
You need an agenda?
Yeah, thanks. We have appointments and resignations. We have an appointment of an ADA coordinator. Mr. Yunus?
Our building inspector has always been appointed as the ADA coordinator, and we hadn't done that since the previous building inspector, and it's something we need to have, so I recommend that the board appoint Brian Butler as the ADA coordinator.
Okay. Any questions? Chair, entertain a motion to appoint Brian Butler, building inspector, to the position of ADA coordinator.
Second.
A motion and a second. there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Okay. There is something else that I had here. I got some copies of the, Mrs. Steele, I think we talked about this briefly. This is the other thing I forgot to bring up on the water department, is where we are on these sprinkler system fees. Now, I asked for copies of the bills today. It looks to me, Mike, like the municipal center is paying the bill for the sprinkler system, but the schools are not paying,
And the library is not.
and the library is not. So now they're being assessed at a, Mrs. Steele, you might have more information, they're being assessed at a certain amount.
It's a
Yeah.
14% interest on the entire bill, I think, rather than just the portion they didn't pay. Right, correct?
I think that's correct. And actually, I think we need to get it from Dr. Byetta, but on the school side, I think what's happening is they have no intention of paying the sprinkler. They're sending in their payment for what they owe on their water bill, and the water department is taking the sprinkler fee out of it and then applying the rest of their water bill. So now they're behind on their water bill, and I don't know if legally the water department has the right to do that, because there's no intention on the school department to pay the sprinkler fee. I mean, the sprinkler fee was assessed randomly after the fact.
I have a hope, here's my problem with it. We have sprinkler systems, I mean, I have retail stores that have sprinkler systems. We don't use the water. Now, the new policy in this town is if you build a new building, if we build a new town hall or whatever, COA building, you have to put an extra large water line into the facility to handle a sprinkler system, which I'm sure there's a reason behind that, but usually when a sprinkler goes off, it's one or two, the whole place isn't going to light up and start throwing water everywhere. It's only ones that are affected by the heat. So we're charging facilities, not just the town buildings, but any major facilities. We have the condo folks over there, across from Roach Brothers, that are paying it also. So they pay the extra fee to put in the extra lines, to put in a sprinkler system, which is something we should encourage in any new building. It makes sense. Then once you do that, they're charging you a monthly fee or a quarterly fee just because you have to get the extra water coming into your building that you're not using. Now, in my mind, how it works is if something goes off and you're using the water, then you pay for it. And maybe you pay dearly for it. I don't know. Maybe at that point you say, you know what, the rate is $2 a cube or whatever. We're going to charge you 10 because you're using all this extra water. It doesn't make sense to me to be charging people for water that they don't use. It's just in case. And it discourages people from even thinking, unless they're mandated,
Right.
it discourages them from even thinking about putting in sprinkler systems. Now, in some of my buildings, I have air systems, and how that works is the water runs by the building, it's all plumbed up, it's got air in the system. If the sprinkler head gets knocked off, the air comes out first and the water is charged, it kind of charges the system. But it's a sprinkler system. So it would still apply under Norton rules, it would still have to pay the fees. But when we're charging municipal buildings, which is part of the whole, we're all paying for this. And we're not paying it through a water bill, we're paying it through our taxes. So to me, it's like double dipping to a certain extent. You know,
But what is it for?
yeah,
I'll give you an explanation. An explanation I have is that any company that has a sprinkler system has a company put it in, and they also have a company that comes out and does a flush. They flush the system out, they maintain it. They pay for that, the companies pay for that, not the town of Norton or anybody else. Those are all maintained by each individual landowner that they pay somebody to come clean out their system. But when you have nothing, I don't understand what you're paying for something that you're not using, that you already paid $30,000 or $20,000 or $40,000 to tap in so that you could say you could use a sprinkler system, and then a one-time square footage fee Because I know many people that have paid it for an extra $9,000 or $10,000 or whatever the size of your building is, on top of that sprinkler tap fee, and that's the end of it. Should be no fee on, just because it sits in the ceiling and doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything till you have a fire or you break it. But once that meter flows, you're getting charged for the water, so you're paying for it.
Right, right.
It doesn't make any sense, and I don't understand where they come up with this logic to actually ask people to pay for fees.
I mean,
Mr. Chairman,
it sounds like it should be illegal.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So along the same lines, right? So there's a water going up to my house, right? But it doesn't come out until I turn the faucet on.
Right,
Is it not the same concept,
pretty much.
right?
So that's number one. Number two, I'm not exactly sure how the water department can charge municipal departments 14% interest. We're paying, these are our tax dollars that we're paying to the water department. That bothers me. And then the other thing is, I thought that when this first came up, the board as a whole was pretty upset about it. I thought we had decided that none of the municipal departments were going to be paying this to the water department until we got a further explanation, which we never got from the water department because they won't come to our meetings. But why are some of our departments paying it and library and school isn't?
Oh, we're not abiding by our own rules. We're paying the bill, and they're not. So we need to stop.
Yeah.
We're gonna stop.
Yeah, we need to stop.
But I
and,
also want an opinion from
I like
legal counsel.
Yeah, I like legal counsel, because if we
Send
stop,
this information to them back and say, look, this is ridiculous. You know, first we have to deal with the town, the municipal side of it, figure this thing out. Then we gotta look at the other side of it and see, well, I mean, we might as well ask the question on both sides. Okay, why are we paying these excessive fees? It appears to be a lot of money. And interest,
14%.
if we don't pay it. And after we spend,
Yeah.
I know you've been trying to deal with it for a while, it's putting in a sprinkler system down at Bernie and Phil's, and it costs a lot of money.
The city is not tying in, you still haven't tied in,
Huh.
because it's $96,000
So they charge him $96,000
to tie into the sewer.
to put the sewer or water?
It's sewer.
Oh, it's sewer, okay.
Water's already in, but still, that has a lot to do with usage.
With the meter, yeah.
All that crap. It's a piece of puzzle that I'll never understand. But getting back to where is this money being used for that they're charging these sprinkler fees? You don't have people going around inspecting your sprinkler pipes.
Right.
You don't go around having people, whatever. There is nothing that applies to this fee that it's maintaining. It just puts it in an account. In other words, it's not going to anything. It's not going to any guy that works there, gotta have to go to each individual division and do an inspection, because that's personal. The people that put it in, they hire their own people to do that. There is no person to go along with this that has to maintain that money.
I don't get it.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
I'm not done on this. I've got a
That's
few
all
more
right.
things.
Okay.
I did, still worked up. Yeah, we don't know what the guidance are, we don't know what they're using it for. Number two, because it's an enterprise account and it's an elected board, there's absolutely no accountability. They do not, they will not give anybody information, that we can't force them to give anybody information. This is town money that is being given to the water department with absolutely no accountability and absolutely no transparency at all. There's no reason why our board and, say, the school department should be wondering what the heck this money's going for. This should be cut and dry. Every other bill that we have in this town that we charge townspeople or builders or whoever come into town, they know what they're paying and what they're getting, right? So that's a problem with this. And then the other thing is, if we are going to get legal opinion on this, which I think is a good idea, Mike, can you get with Dr. Byetta? Because they have their own issue, and I think we need to make sure that everybody involved, the school and the municipal side, gets the same answers and moves forward, because clearly we didn't. Somehow there was a disconnect if half of them are paying and half of them aren't.
If I'm reading this right, Mike, that $250 under current, it's miscellaneous W, is that the charge? You got water, they got capital, and they got miscellaneous W.
Probably. I'll have to check.
So our water bill in the school department, and this particular one is $302.
Right.
And the miscellaneous for the sprinkler system is
Right,
$250. Is that not ridiculous?
Yeah.
Town hall, water usage, $239.42. Capital, $59. Miscellaneous, $125. I mean, it's a lot of money. So, anyway, can we get, for the next meeting, Mike, can you get some kind of some kind of information for us and tell us what, I mean, I'm not in favor of a town body suing another town body, but at some point, if we can't get some kind of cooperation, we may have to take legal action, and if that's what it's going to take. But charging an extra 14%, I think it was you, Mary, that told me that if they charge an extra 14% in their billing structure, they have no way to take it off or something? Once they assess it, it stays on there? Our billing doesn't allow us to remove it. You better figure out a way. It's called a software patch or something. I mean, I'm not that techie, but I know that things can be fixed. So, Mike, find out, and let's have a report back at the next meeting so we can come up with, if we can get some kind of an opinion from town council, it would be greatly appreciated. And like I said, we'll deal with the town stuff first, and then we'll deal with everything else after. So, unreal. The other thing I found, are you filling a position, Mike, Bob, on the Housing Authority?
Yes.
You have a position available?
Still a provision of it. Yeah, it has been for a while.
Is this the person running the housing, or?
This was a position that was held by the state. It was a state appointee position.
Okay,
And then after so many months, if the state appointee position doesn't get appointed, it's just open to a regular, it's not a state appointed position anymore.
this one here is a letter from a lady applying for a job that was posted on the Norton website for the Norton Housing Authority position.
Applied to the wrong place.
Okay. Are you looking for anyone over there? Okay. And the other thing, I had a conversation with Sherry Cohen the other day, and I thanked her for sending the minutes. Terry Rand, every week they send the school committee minutes over so we can look at them and review them. So I asked Carol to print them out so we all have a hard copy of it that we can look at. And we'll probably talk more about it at the joint meeting, but one thing we did talk about was if we have any questions, we can ask the town manager to go back and, what was this about? And just kind of open up some different dialogue between the two committees. And they can do the same. They may read something in our minutes, which means, by the way, we have to be somewhat up to date on our minutes so that we can exchange the minutes back and forth. So the school committee members can also see our minutes and see what we're talking about, what we're dealing with. And I think it's just another opportunity to find a way to communicate better on that side. So. This one's an older one. This is October 30th, but I think it's probably more current than ours have been, so. But you'll have to speak to our secretary and let her know we're going to start. We need to be more up to date so we can make sure we get this information back and forth. Okay, on the warrants and minutes, report of Chairman Robert W. Kimball on the following payroll and invoice warrants. I have looked them over, reviewed them. I know others look it over and review it too, but I haven't seen anything that's out of the ordinary. But I intend a motion to approve the biweekly payroll warrant number PR 11 for a period ended November 18, 2017, dated November 22nd, 2017, the amount $1,609,294.82.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. I have approved the invoice warrant AP 21 dated November 22nd, 2017, the amount of $369,977.27.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. We have a motion to approve invoice warrant number AP 22 dated November 30, 2017, the amount of $1,089,356.02.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. I will tell you that if I find another water bill that doesn't have the deduction on the sewer, the flow for the sprinkler system, that I will not suggest we approve it.
Good.
And, talking about minutes,
And current.
we're talking about the minutes of March 9th. So Michael, you're...
I still haven't voted on a
you're
set of
au-
minutes
You're
yet.
automatically exempt. We definitely have to
Catching up.
do some catching up here, get this thing up to date. We do have Paul Vessel on here, though, the business developer for Northeastern USA. How are we making up with that?
Good. He was happy to hear we were moving forward.
All right, good. Okay. Any questions about the three members? Any questions about the March 9th meeting? I read through it, everything looked fine. Chair, entertain a motion to approve the minutes of March 9th, 2017 as written.
So moved. Second.
I said 2017, didn't I? Yeah, okay.
I believe so.
Yeah, okay. A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? One present. Records show 4 in approval, one member present. Are we meeting on the 14th?
Yeah. What about the 7th? Are you meeting on the 7th too or not?
Oh, thanks, Mike.
Okay, here's the deal. We
14th, and you have to meet on the 21st for the violation hearings.
So we can meet on the 14th and the 21st and not meet on the 7th, if you want to do 2 weeks in a row.
Do we have
fine.
eggnog on the 21st?
We don't have to meet on the 7th?
No,
Okay.
no, there's nothing that says we have to meet on the 7th.
If something comes up,
The way it's going, we're going to be meeting on January 1st,
I'll
so.
let you know.
Well, here's the deal. I don't object to doing it, but on the 14th, I would like all of these new licenses prepared and ready to go, because if not, we're going to be back here on the 21st, and I think one year we actually met between
Yeah.
Christmas and New Year's to finish it up. So we got to get these licenses taken care
We go
of.
to Alpha down there and hire some help.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
we had this conversation last year too, so this is what I would suggest.
We're
If
listening. Go
The
ahead.
delay isn't because of us. If they don't get their
Right.
license in on time, I'm not coming in between December,
Right.
between Christmas and New Year's to sign it. I'm not.
Right.
So, and I think that the board, we go through this every year. It's their business, it's their livelihood. They need to make it a priority to get the stuff in on time.
She already sent out the information?
Oh, yeah.
Goes out early October.
They all had to be back in by today.
Yeah.
If she wants to send reminders, if she wants to.
Well, that's what I'm going to suggest. Maybe she sends them a reminder and say, look, we're going to be meeting on the 14th and the 21st, and we are not going to meet again until the first of the year.
I just tell them we're doing them all on the 14th.
Right,
get 'em in
and if
by
they're not,
then.
and if they're not here, we can't guarantee if they're going to have a license or not come January 1st.
Well, it'll be a ghost town.
What's that?
Be a ghost town.
Yeah.
You get people to do the same thing. They come in the very last day, or even over the deadline.
And it's the same people, so if
Yeah.
if
That's
they
what
get
I'm
one
saying.
year where their license isn't ready and they have to wait a couple weeks,
If somebody said, oh my gosh, I completely forgot, I'm not, whatever, fine, I'm not, but it's the same people every year. So
That's
why
right.
should we be put out when they've had this warning?
Bad enough you get writer's cramp.
Right. I hate doing this.
Okay.
I have, on the selectmen's report in mail, it's not on that list.
Yeah, it's not on here again, by the way.
I'm gonna make it up. Anyways, I have something.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I've noticed in the area, I know it's, I'm not trying to put people out of work, but I'm telling you, why should people get away with things without having a license? There's a couple places I know that people are buying and selling cars, and the yards are full of them, and there's dealer plates on them. I think our building inspector needs to send them a letter. they need to comply like everybody else that comes before us that has a home occupation of buying and selling used cars. Most of them aren't even supposed to store them in the yard, period.
If we offer them a license, which I don't think there's many around, we had one for a while down by the Grove. Someone who was buying and selling with a stipulation they can only have one car unregistered. They could have one with a dealer plate on it, I think, and one unregistered. So if you have information, Mr. Salvo, where these are, give it to Mike and I think the building inspector would have to check into it. I can think of one off the top of my head I'm aware of, too.
I mean, I just don't think it's fair, you know. Not fair to the neighbors. I don't think it's fair to us to have to look like buffoons all the time, let people get away with stuff. You know, just comply like everybody else does. So, yeah,
Anything on the report and mail? Mr. Steele?
I go warm myself out in the water soon.
Well, you can
No, I'm good.
start over again. if
We
you
should move on.
want. Larry?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we want to remind everyone again that Sunday, 5 o'clock on the Common, will be the tree lighting ceremony, and Santa will be there, be coming by fire truck this year. And they've done a good job. I think they're already up there and decorating. I saw the house was already up there, so it's in the works. The Highway Department's doing another great job of helping out down there. Police, Fire Department's still helping, the lights and all that stuff, so it all works out. But if you are coming to that event, if you can bring an unwrapped gift, child toy of some sort, the fire department is going to collect those and make sure they get to the appropriate places, so. If you come on down, make sure you bring a child's toy. Do not wrap it, keep it unwrapped, and they'll do the rest.
bring a free parking ticket with you.
You got 2 hours to park down there, and
I
that's
got to
it.
see if Keith's finished that reserve for town manager sign.
He put it in Easton.
I don't know, every time I've seen the town manager, when a Santa starts coming, he always disappears. I don't know what the story is there.
Tell you, we saw the house coming up 123 the other day. I'm taking the kids to school. They got excited, so they're looking forward to it.
That's funny. That's good.
Gonna be there for that.
Okay, anything else to come before the board? Seeing none, entertain a motion to adjourn at 8 o'clock.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, of those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. No comment.